First episode of 2025. What's up with you, Horatio? How you feeling?
2025. God damn, man. It's going by fast. How was your New Year's, bro?
I had an amazing New Year. I had went to the club, hosted some good things. I haven't been to church for New Year's for New Year. Is it New Year or New Year's? Because we need to go ahead and establish that now. Because
For
I
New Year's. I say New Year's. I don't know. What's the
but
what's
I
the
feel
word?
like it's New Year because we're only getting 1 year older. So
Yeah.
for the New Year, I did okay. Boom for New Year's Eve. There it goes. I think it's the
Mhm.
S with the Eve. I had hosted a event. I haven't been to church for it for New Year's Eve in a long time, just because I've always been working. But this is one of the best club events that I've had in a long time. I actually had a good time. People got in.
Why'd you
Um,
bring up church? You got like you was going. I thought you said you were going to go to church. You just happened to bring up that you didn't go to church in a
yeah,
long
I
time.
wanted to though, but you know what I'm saying. Like I just always have to
Yo,
work on New
think
Year's Eve.
about those services when you was a kid because we had to go. Sometimes I would go with my mom, and sometimes I would go like just be with my grandparents at their house, or go with them to church. Bro, being at the church until midnight, bro, is crazy, bro. And sometimes they don't even stop and do the countdown. Sometimes it's just straight. They just preaching through the time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Shout out to them watch night services. The kids that got to stay up all night because I hated doing that honestly. But I mean, but you're doing it. But you're doing it at the club too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm guessing y'all had like a countdown thing too.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
what'd you do?
oh man, I was at the crib, chilling at the crib, bro.
Chilling.
I didn't do nothing, bro. I went to sleep at like 10. I really
Oh,
just
you
had like
slept
a
through it.
yes. I had like a regular New Year's, bro. Real like it's my first time not doing nothing. Like last year, I was in Dallas. I would go to the club. I would do the whole
Right.
thing. It's my first time like just chilling. So yeah, I had a good time. Happy New Year, man.
Happy
What's
New
some of
Year.
your resolutions? We still doing them?
So yeah, I was about to actually talk about that. I don't really necessarily have a resolution. Well, yes, I do. I have goals and aspirations for the year, and I saw a couple of things that I can do throughout the year to kind of keep motivated and things like that. The reason why I don't have any New Year's resolutions is because anything that I wanted to start last year, I didn't want to wait until 2025 to get it started. So if I had new habits I wanted to create, I wanted to start that in October, in November, whatever the case may be, because it keeps up with consistency and it's not like a hard start and stop. Now I am on my fast that started today. So juice and cleanse, and I'm gonna be doing the Daniel fast. So I'm gonna be swapping back and forth between those two. Um, but yeah, I always wanted to clean body, things like that. I've been productive. One of the best things that I've done over the past few years is learn to not procrastinate and but also be a little less controlling. And let things go with the flow a little bit this year. Is what I'm gonna be trying to do.
Same, man. I think just trying to manage my time. I mean, bro, aren't all these the same every year? That's what I
Yeah,
want to get into. The same. It's the same. People say the same things every year. It's the same. People have the same goals. You want to do better. You want to look better. You want to feel better. You want to have more money. You want to stop being a slob and doom scrolling. You know what I'm saying, or whatever you do, whatever your what I'm saying addiction or a thing that you hate about yourself, you want to stop doing. So hopefully you guys achieve that. Let's start off with some shout out or shame. Okay. I don't know if you've seen this, but being HBCU students, Mississippi Valley's band got invited to the Donald Trump inauguration parade.
right.
Right now, initially, when you hear this as a black person, most black people vote Democrat. You go, oh, they're about to get some pushback. Most people aren't gonna. Most people at the school, most people probably in the band didn't vote for Trump. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, most people probably voted for Kamala in the school or whatever. So immediately I'm like, okay, they're gonna get some pushback. And I was like, okay, but I'm still good with them going. You might disagree with that. I'm still good with them going because I feel like it's a event for a president, regardless of whoever it is. But then CDK, I heard that they are raising money. This is where I go, hell no. Even though I think it's a good event to go to, hell no. If you're gonna invite an HBCU band to Trump, y'all gotta pay us, bro. Y'all gotta pay us, man, to raise money. Now, granted, the MAGA people have honestly donated a lot of money to them. Like they've gotten like pretty close to what they're gonna go. Like they're probably gonna go based on the donations that they've gotten because of the story so big. But hey, man, I guess shout out to Mississippi Valley. This is a good. I just wouldn't have raised the money because it already kind of clashes with who most people voted for, and it wouldn't seem like the headache. But they put themselves out there and they got paid. So shout out to Mississippi Valley. They're going for free. What you think?
Okay, I agree with you on this part. I do think they should have did it regardless of who is in office because it is a presidential inauguration parade, and that's a
Mhm.
big accolade to have. You know, like in years to come, you don't have to put a year beside it. You can just put it on your resume.
Right.
I do believe when I saw they were raising 350K, it's 350. I want to say that was what the number was. Something
Right.
crazy high. And
Mhm.
now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it take 350 to get to DC for your whole band.
Hey, they want a little pushback. They want a little cut. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know.
I'm like that number don't even sound right. But
Yeah.
unless they got to pay to be in it or something, I don't know.
Well,
But
I thought it was okay. Well, they for the last time I checked, they raised 15K. I thought they were raising 30K. You said
oh, it's 30.
350K. No, it's probably 350K. 30K is too small. So it's like
You
still
think
like
so?
to a band, bro. Yeah, man, you gotta have a lot of money to move all these people. So
I'm trying to think.
hotel
They
fees, all that
band
stuff.
is like they have a pretty big band, right?
Yeah, Mississippi Valley's pretty big, man. They've beefed up over the past couple years.
That's what I thought.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, shout out to them, man. But yeah, 350K is crazy. You could have put that to something better. Like if they were paying for everything, you go, okay, yeah, cool. But the fact you got to do it and raise the money, it's like, I don't know if I would have did it for Kamala.
Yo.
To be honest, yo, Kamala, she would have had to cut the check.
Yeah,
So
not
Trump
paying
got to,
them is crazy though. That's crazy. Not paying them
yeah,
is
Trump
insane.
got to cut the check. If you don't, then I ain't going. But if they get the money, then hey, shout out to them. Like you said, it's just a good notch on your resume. What you got, bro?
So I was going to scrolling on Instagram and I saw a conversation that said, "What immediately tells you that a person has had traumatic childhood past?" And there's a list of things that I saw in the comment section that I agree, some things that I kind of disagree with. But before I say mine, I want you to think about yours. What is something that somebody can do? You be like, "Oh, I can tell this came from your childhood." Like you got trust issues, like stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, just basic not confidence. I'll give you a great example. I went out this past weekend or something like that, and it was a pool table. It was like a bar. It was like a pool table. So I
Hmm.
grabbed, we started, oh, we should play, da da da. Some girls around here. And this girl, white girl, she's just like, I just can't do this. I can't hit it. Like she just keeps saying how like she can't do this or she can't do it. I'm like, but like, you know how people like girls do that and like they're like joking and then they do it. Like she was like halting the game so much. We'd be like, hey, you either gonna do this or just get the fuck out of here. And I can tell that comes from childhood. Like somebody like didn't tell her, hey, you even if you're not sure of something, something new, you can try to have a good positive attitude. So even small things like that. But honestly, everything, what I'm saying, when you're young, you don't have no perception of life. Your parents shape your shit. You get all your parents' shit, what I'm saying, all their trauma kind of downloaded into you a little bit. So it'd be a lot of stuff. But that's the good thing about growing up, bro, is being able to kind of realize that and like disconnect from that. But yeah,
Yes,
what
disconnected.
things you
So for me, poor eating habits is the number one thing, right? When I see kids that are, Ooh, hey, when I see big kids, bro, I be
Oh, you
like,
see
bro,
fat kids. Oh man, then that suck when you see a fat kid. You like, come on, bro, you 7. You already behind.
oh my god. Now, and, body structure is the thing, right? So when I
No,
see,
CDK. No, nigga. That kid is just but that goes deeper, right? It ain't just because sometimes like other members of the family be small. So it just
right,
based on like their own like you said, emotional trauma or whatever. So it's like the kid is going through something and you can see it. And if you and bro, if you can see it that young, if you can see it that young, then it's kind of sad. Like,
but my top three ones from the list were, for me, was avoidant behavior, um, people pleasing, and over apologizing. We've talked about over apologizing, but
yeah.
really the avoidant behavior. Because like when you have any type of conflict, people that don't like conflict, right? And I feel like when you have conflict, the way that you handle it also can be some of your childhood trauma as well. Meaning like you can run from the problem, don't want to talk about it, and think it'll just pass by, sweep things under the rug until it boils up.
Mhm.
Or you could be the person that's like super aggressive, and every time that there's a slight disconnect or a disagreement, it has to become an argument, which is also not good as well. Being argumentative.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Damn, bro, you can tell this nigga CDK is in a relationship, boy. He's starting to analyze everything. This is what happens when you grow up. Bro, that's that's a good thing about being in a relationship. You can tell this relationship CDK. But that's a great thing because the person that you with kind of mirrors, your shit back to you. So you start to see like, oh shit, like this is why I think like this or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
hell yeah. All right. Um, keeping it into kind of like relationships. Have you seen the conversation that mid white women are taking over the NFL as far as being like their husbands. Did you see that guy propose to his girlfriend and everybody's calling the girl mid, which I absolutely hate. Like, come on, man, bro. This shit is high school, CDK. It's all high school, bro. It never stops. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can see somebody in love, and they'll be like, "She ugly," you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's this whole thing about like, and which makes me think, right? We automatically think that people who have a lot of money or people who just in general are vain, but it
Mhm.
really be the ugly people that be vain. If, you know what I'm saying? If you think about it, like the people that because they're looking at somebody and their fiance saying she's ugly, kind of like she doesn't deserve to be in that position.
Mhm.
He's an NFL player. He should be with a bad bitch, or he should be with like an Instagram model type girl, right? But that leads me to this conversation of men. We value respect, right?
Mhm.
And I think as you get older, you will put a respectful woman over like a super bad bitch too. And you kind of see these with these high productive guys. These guys who are in the NFL, they have like they have a schedule. Like we, there are things to do. You have things to do. You can't just be, you know, fine. Like you got to add some type of value. And I don't think that that's the first thing that people are looking at. What do you think about people who are thinking kind of in a vain way
Hold on real quick.
that what's up?
Never mind. But yeah, when I saw that, right, there was a couple things that I want to take down because I also wanted to kind of like go into another situation that I saw on social media this morning.
Mhm.
So, um, with the guys dating the white NFL girlfriends, right? This is one of the things that I have noticed when a black woman dates a white guy, right? They when a black woman dates a white guy, it's like, oh, you found a prize, girl. You lucked up, like you got the holy grail of men, right? But
Mhm.
when a black man dates a white girl, it's like, oh, you should have been with a sister. This, that, and third. Like you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like the narratives on
Mhm.
social media, but it's like, but it's always to downplay what men are doing though. Like in that
Yeah.
situation, it's always that. I have
Mhm.
never seen a situation on social media or in real life to where a black man dates a white girl and people are applauding that ever. And then no, for real, like, and then
Yeah.
I've also thought about it like this too. Most of the time, these white girls be with these dudes since they was in like high school, middle school, like they be locked
Yeah.
in for a long time. And
Mhm.
then what I also realized is that people on the other side of things, people try to jump on the bandwagon by they already become a pro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they've already been on that side. And most of the time, the good football programs, as far as high school, are the white schools. So they
Yeah.
ran into the white girls. Like that's
Right.
how that just kind of goes. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, and now it starts to make sense because that's what you're around. So that's what you're feeding into.
But even okay, let's take it off football, right? Let's take it like just regular people, bro.
Yeah.
I go to bars here in Charlotte, bro. It is so many black guys with white girls. It's crazy. Like here, at least. And when I was in Austin, it was even more ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen that, and I've been like, damn, like, oh shit, like like obviously 50 years ago, this wasn't a thing that was like OD popular. So yeah, man, times are changing, bro. I think that people are maybe taking in, less the ideals of the bond of togetherness that we kind of grew up as black people, like, oh, you should have, what you should have, more like thinking about what fits them. And that's cool. You can't say nothing like we're all the same, it doesn't really matter. So yeah.
But what I wanted to go with that was this morning, De'Ara and Ken. You know the YouTube couple that used to have her, or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
So I guess they had a joint bank account. They used to do content together, so it makes sense that they would put their business money together so they could both see it and have access to it. So um he came out and spoke about the situation, talking about how, oh, like this is basically what happened. And when I'm reading through the comments, the first thing they're saying is, oh, he got on social media too fast. He feels guilty.
Wait,
Oh,
hold on. Wait, a question. He got on social media to say what?
to address what it was going on. Like it was the headline was Ken Walker is being sued for stealing money out of their joint bank account.
Okay.
Boom. Mind you, they broke it like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But he got up and was like, okay, let me address the situation. Like, this is basically what happened. People like, oh, you shouldn't be talking to us. You should be talking to a lawyer. Oh, you got on social media too fast and jumped to defend yourself. So now you're guilty. I'm like, but if he didn't say anything, y'all would be saying he's a liar. Like
But
it,
but I agree with that though. I don't think you should have said anything because it's like, To me, when you go out there, bro, I mean, but like, okay, you be saying he's a liar, but now they're judging what you saying back to that rather than I'd rather you just say it and it just be not true because you can just act like you don't hear it. But then when you respond, now it's like, okay, yeah, now we can pick apart this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I kind of like agree with that though. Like,
If it was her though, they wouldn't have said that.
yeah, but see, and that's the double standard of being a guy, right? You can't go out there and kind of show emotion like that. Like, remember the thing with Kiki Palmer boyfriend in social media? It's like that's the thing. Like, I mean, and I'm kind of cool with that because because it leaves a air of mystery to what's going on. If he didn't say nothing about it, then yeah, it's gonna happen. You know, people gonna talk about it, but it's gonna come and go. It's kind of narcissist to kind of talk about it, honestly, because you're going like, oh, people care so much. Who gives a fuck about you and your finances, and you steal out of your girl's account because you did it? Get the fuck out of here!
What do you mean?
He did it. Nah, he did it. Get the fuck out of here. So I agree. Don't come out here and try to defend because you just want to control public perception, and is that more important than what actually is the truth?
Yes.
No, it's not,
bro. Okay, so this is the thing. I just feel like when you are your brand, there's certain things that just cannot be floating around like that. And it's already been multiple situations to where he's done like some questionable things in the past on camera that is like he needed to address that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but taking it like him out of it, like just the situation as a whole, I would have done the same thing. Cause it's like, and I'm gonna show you receipts. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is what's going on? Like, no, it's not actually what's going on.
Yeah, see, when you do that though, people are looking at your emotions and they're going like, see, he's like people, you're giving them more. Even if it's just like it's never gonna you think you think that you're giving them evidence, they're gonna use that. And bro, people have ideas of what they want you to be. It doesn't matter. So if they don't like this guy Ken, they're gonna call him a thief or liar, whatever the fuck he, you know.
I can see that. Yeah, that's
so. It's like when you come out and be like, "Oh, I got evidence," they're gonna go look at him. His hands are shaking when he's showing it. He's a liar.
Yeah, once the narrative is written, that you just gonna have to live with that.
That's my point.
I forgot about that. That's real.
But the hard thing as the person that is going through that, you don't want to. You think that you can change people's minds, bro. You cannot change nobody's mind. If somebody has it out that you are a certain type of way, you going out of your way to show them that that's a lie makes you seem more guilty. And I know that's so weird, but it is. You go like, look, I'm telling you, and they go, get the fuck out of my face. But that's just with anything though. And people think that other people are like them. Like, so he's like, I'm gonna show them, and I'm gonna tell them, and other people, and they still go, you're still a liar. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna find something. So the answer to that is don't do anything at all. Because when you, I don't know, but I get it. When it's your brand, hey, people still gonna talk shit. My point.
That's facts.
Yeah. Okay. My fault. Okay. Have you seen the Walmart Birkin bag?
No, I haven't.
So you know the Birkin bag, right? By Hermes, everybody talks about it. Walmart came out with a bag that looks exactly like for $80. Now let's put it in perspective. The Birkin bag starts at $10,000. Starts at $10,000. This bag is on Walmart now. Of course, it's sold out, but it's on Walmart for $79.99, right? And the rich people, are freaking out because this, downplays the value, right? And I kind of wanted this to bring up about how we choose the value on things, bro. Like the material is probably the same, is probably dumb cheap. I mean, China workshop cheap, but they're selling it at $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And this goes to show too the value that we put on pretty much everything is neutral, bro. I mean, these materials are cheap. They make it for $80. And it shows that what do we really put value on? If we buy things for a brand name, and we work for this money to buy these things. And these Birkin bags are like collectibles to women. They got a whole bunch of them that, people selling them and stuff like that. So with this Walmart thing, the value comes down because now the lady that's working at Rite Aid can now have a Birkin bag and it looks just like a Birkin. and now Cardi B's Birkin doesn't mean anything. So I just think like it's kind of cool to see the balloon burst on certain things with apps and internet and technologies. like Temu and things like that, Amazon or whatever, all these things that we can just make cheaper versions. It goes to show like all this shit really is just the illusion of what we give the value to. We're just buying the brand. What you think about it?
Wearing your money, like I saw, I watched a sneaker thing on YouTube where they talk about people bringing in shoes and the fakes are getting more and more harder to tell. Like he said, it's down to the to where you have to smell the sneaker to tell where it came from. And I'm like, bro, who's walking up to you and smelling your sneaker?
Right.
Like, what's the difference at this point? And most of the time, these are made in the same factories. One is just made and it might have a little stitch and they mess it up and they sell it on the black market. Like that's already been talked about too. Like
Right.
I think that, like you said, like wearing your brand and getting to the point where it's more about how much you spend on it than the actual product is where we're making the disconnect. And the older you get, I would feel like the more you would like not even necessarily care about things like that. I think about the same thing about when it comes to cars, right? A quality car versus like a luxury car. Lexus, I want to say, is the luxury brand of what, Toyota, or is it Honda? And same thing with like Infinity and Toyota, one of the two. They're the same cars, just with a different logo and a little bit of a different interior. You know what I mean? So it's like luxury to me is something that's not really important. It just tries to up your status. And people that actually have it like that, most of the time don't even care about it like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I think for the Birkins, it's the exclusivity. That's the whole thing that people love. People love exclusivity. And I do too. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people use these things to up their confidence. I think that's what it really is. It's like
Mm-hmm.
because, like you said, the materials are as cheap as the Walmart ones or the other cheap ones, but the exclusivity makes you feel like you're better than other people, and if that makes you feel good, then it's worth whatever price that you sell it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something that these designers understand. I mean, and it's just good marketing, but to me as a person you have to find the balance of being able to understand that and being able to still be in the what I'm saying, still be that guy. And you can't, what I'm saying, you can't be out here some bullshit. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like you have to find that balance of, hey, look, what is important to me? Is this important to me to be able to now if I realize this amount of money and I have it, then it doesn't really matter. A song that I love that I keep in mind with me whenever I'm stressing about money is $25,000 Jacket by Lil Baby. It's inspirational to me because he's talking about a jacket that costs $25,000, and more than likely the money that I'm thinking about is less than that, and it's a jacket. So I go, who gives a damn? It's just a damn jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I tripping
Right.
over about 5,000 or however much money I'm thinking about? 500, and this nigga's paying $25,000 for a jacket. So it's a good balance. You have to be able to think about, okay, it's good enough for me to put in perspective about my life. So I think that's the most individual thing. And as these designer brands burst in a way due to these overseas markets and replicas and clones or whatever, it's gonna be just interesting to see what we then put value on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As time goes on.
I agree. So one of my next topics that I want to talk about was wrapping up 2024, some of the things that you saw and want to leave in last year. I feel like we do pretty good on these raps. Music too. Let's talk about that as well. 2024 for me, good. I want to hear your top 5 songs of the year. What do you think? Who had breakout artist of the year? Things like that. Let's give out some awards.
Oh my god, I wish you would have asked me this before. Let's think about this. I mean, of course, we got to go Kendrick. This nigga had a fantastic year. I was looking at, bro, it's so crazy that we be in our own bubbles of music, bubbles of everything. I
Mm-hmm.
saw like the biggest stream songs of 2024, and
Mm-hmm.
not like I would say, I guess, not like us was a big one. That was
Yeah.
number 10. I mean, like Sabrina Carpenter had like the number one. I'm like, God damn. And you don't even
Mm-hmm.
think about how big these other songs are and how small our world is. But yeah. Yeah, I want to hear some of yours too.
No, so the reason why I be thinking about that too, we have to also think about when they came out. Like some of them songs came out. I want to say Not Like Us came out in late May, early June. I want to say it came out maybe like early May, or April. Um, my MVP for the year was actually Glorilla, and she tweeted something the
Yeah.
other day that I'm glad she really addressed. She said, "I'm not taking my foot off the gas because last time I did that, y'all said I fell off," and that means she really felt like that Cha 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 song. Flopping was the best thing that could have ever happened to her because it woke her ass up. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that she took the criticism and went the right direction. So for that, I give her most improved as well as MVP of this year. My producer of the year was the throw up between Metro and Mustard, but I feel like Mustard put himself in a whole different category this year. as far as TV off. Not like us, like being that he wasn't even really in the beef, like for me, Metro Boomin was more so like integrated in the actual like social media banter when
Mhm.
Mustard was doing like the real work, saying that he was sending Kendrick like 100 beats or 5 beats a day or whatever the case may be. And these are the songs that came out. Now I ain't gonna lie, like that was my favorite produced song of the year for
Right.
me. So Metro Boomin gave me a notch on that one. For Rookie of the Year, it was hard for me to choose between either Bossman D-Lo or Big X the Plug. But for me, reason I gave Big X a plug the notch is because on a commercial level, first of all, he dropped the same week as Glorilla and
Mhm.
Raw Wave, and then on top of that, he sold out his own tour. So for me,
Yeah.
I think Big X a plug was my rookie of the year,
Yeah,
and
man. Great,
yeah,
great picks, man. I mean, Bossman D-Lo had a fantastic year just on the underground real like rap level. But like you said, biggest a plug on a commercial level. I mean, bro, he kills with like NFL highlights, like you know what I'm saying, going to commercial. Like his it's something about his sound, his sound of the sample, it goes from the old song until you hear the beat and then it goes to him. It's like that's like a big thing. And it's like I love that, like that's his thing. And he's capitalizing on that. I don't know, man. I mean, everybody you said is somebody I've been listening to. Um, I would give the whole year to Kendrick, man, just based off the Drake success and then the album coming out. Like the album coming
mm-hmm.
out being a good album did well. Glorilla as well, one of my favorite albums. Um, love her album. It was so like a lot of different versions of her on that album. So yeah, man, great artist, man. Great better year this year for rap than we had in 2023. Remember
Boy,
2023 they were talking about, oh, rappers fell off, whatever. Like this was a great year with the Drake and Kendrick beef in the beginning, kind of, and then kind of going through the end. But yeah,
nah, for sure. I
really came.
definitely think that though. Like 2023, they said hip hop had dropped like 48% or something like that. But you know what's going through it this year? The NBA, the viewership is in the damn dirt. But
Yeah.
it's really getting to the point, man. Like, yo, so Raw is coming to Netflix next week. So and then the
Mhm.
NFL games has been on Netflix and stuff like that.
Wait,
Cable,
Raw's coming to Netflix?
yes,
Wow,
bro. So
bro,
that's what I'm
Netflix
trying to
is getting
understand.
everything, man.
Like, so I'm trying to understand, like, how is this not a non-compete with like cable, or like how does that even work, or does that not matter at all? Like, was it like the radio and streaming thing, like where it's to the point where it's like people are still going to be watching cable, but it's not going to be to the degree and have the same effect that it did 10, 15 years ago.
Well, hey man, or you gotta get it. Like that's what Netflix is saying. Like we don't care about them. Like think about that, but that's so like it's so like cutthroat in business to go. We don't like if you're not paying for this, then you're not gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? And like that's so cool because otherwise this thing it wasn't free, but yeah, it was free. Like the ABC, NBC, or whatever, like the three,
Right?
four
Yeah,
channels
facts.
they was free to see. So it's like to take it off those and the even during Christmas time, it was like some of the games were on Netflix, the NFL games. So if
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have Netflix, then hey, where you normally watch it on ABC is it is what it is. And we talk about legacy media being over too. This is a great example of that. I mean, those boxing fights, all these things being streamed, live comedy. Like Cat Williams, he had his live special. Joe Rogan had a live special. Like Netflix is really being able to kind of where people thought Netflix was going to fall off due to like a YouTube model, they're really being able to have the money to get exclusive content that the ABCs and the NBCs, and you can tell too, the NBCs and those, they put their money still in those shows that nobody watches. I mean, they have so many shows that nobody watches. Netflix has a studio where they can just pump out stuff where and it doesn't really matter because it's going into a void that is their own void to have. Their metrics are their own. Like
Yo,
you
this is
have to
crazy.
pay for it to, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if you watch it or not. We're gonna put it on here and it's just gonna loop through. You're still paying for the whole thing. Whereas it was free for at NBC and it cost more to put those shows out. So I mean, they're really killing it, man. And it's interesting to see, where things go with kind of these legacy media losing these big ass contracts, NFL, WWE, NBA.
Man, what? And then on top of that, like we were running from the ads. The reason why people even went to streaming services was on demand and no ads. They got ads now, so it's still
Yeah.
commercial break. Like it ain't like it's commercial free. So yeah, it's getting crazy. Like we getting to the point of that. But yeah, that's what I had for today. Those are those four topics
Okay.
I had.
My last one. This is kind of corny. This is not corny, but it's kind of like stupid. I'm going to the barbershop three white boys come in the barbershop, black barbershop, getting the fade. I'm like, bro, where the fuck? And that made me think in the barbershop. And these are not like these are white guys from the suburbs. They're not like grow up in the hood. Like they drove down here to go to to get this haircut. And I'm also thinking like, yo, why don't white guys have their own swag anymore? And that made me start thinking like, okay, what is white boy swag? Then I'm thinking like, okay, rock bands, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Imagine Dragons, Blink 182, these type of like, why isn't that more publicized? Why is all the white guys being black? They all getting fades and shit. Three white guys going from the curly to getting fades. I'm like, damn, like, what's y'all shit? What if we wanted to like even emo? Remember how like emo is like a white people thing?
Yeah.
It's like have some culture, man. Like, come on, man. What you think?
We've always been a culture, but like stuff like Harry Styles, like those are their guys. Like, but I don't know if they have sex symbols anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember like Justin Bieber, like everybody want to kind of like be like that, look the hair flip over and all of that shit. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. You know what I'm saying? So like we've always had the sauce. It's just now I when it gets to the point where they start getting locks, I hope that's not gonna be a thing. I've only seen a couple, but if we start getting to that point, it's really gonna be some issues. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because the fade is like whatever.
You know what? Yeah, that just made me think. Like, I guess to present more black is to be more masculine. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of those guys, you say Harry Styles, like it's still a little effeminate, like to women.
The Travis Kelce. He had the fade, and they were calling it the Travis Kelce fade, and they're like, "Nah, nigga, that's the Boosie fade." Like, what you mean? Like,
no, them white boys definitely went there to get a Travis Kelce fade, like for sure. That's probably what they said. So I was just thinking, like, damn, like, but I'm saying they came into the black barbershop. It was a whole thing. So yeah,
was it talking to y'all? Like, what was it like? Did they emerge in the culture, or it was just like?
I mean, yeah, they were just, it wasn't a standoffish. They were, black people aren't. Come on now, black people aren't.
We're not like that. Yeah,
we're the last ones to do that. You know, I realized too. Why don't white people, like when I'm walking down the street, black people are the only people that talk to you, like walking down the street. White people are like so like I'm like, God damn, these niggas are so like. I think that's just a black thing. Like I guess we feel like obligated to.
Yeah, me and don't rob me, nigga. I just spoke to you.
Yeah, right. We got to make sure everything's okay. All right, man. You got a better to come.
2025, man. Like we said, same thing, different you. But don't wait till the near year to do things, create those habits today. Be consistent throughout the year. All of those great things, wonderful things, and dream bigger and better.
Absolutely, guys. We appreciate you for listening to another episode of CDK and Horatio. You can follow me on all social media at Horatio Radio.
Follow me at CDK on the mic, man. 2025, we got some big things coming up.